Welcome to my car talk. Today's episode. I kinda want to say aliens. I don't know, we'll start with a dream I had. So, crazy dream, right? I thought it was like college or something. But it wasn't quite college. It was like a dream I had last night where I was going to this facility, and it was kind of like an educational facility, but more like where adults test you. Well, that's an educational facility. More like they're looking for something, qualities. More selective, I guess you would say. So anyways, I'm in the same world as the dream I had the night before. I'm kind of continuing off of it. So while the first one, I was just kind of walking around, seeing all these people waiting around for like a test. In this dream, I actually got to take the test, and it wasn't like a test too much on like your skills. It was more like a hypnotic test. So as you took the test, you became hypnotized. To do things, right? And so then after the test, everyone took it, suddenly they're in this room. It's not like we slept or we're awake now. It's more like the feeling you get, like when your brain gets paused. When you're, if you ever woken up from like dental surgery, it was like that, So it's like your brain just got paused, but you still continue doing the same thing you thought you were doing. Except now we're all hypnotized and in the trance. And so it kind of looked like a group shower type thing, There was like walls and there was tiled walls and sinks on the floor, or what were those? They weren't like, not toilets, but they're like, they have them a lot in Europe. It's basically like a toilet you sit in. I forget what they're called. It wasn't like for that purpose. It was like, you should be like kneeling on the ground, like cleaning your face with them, is what they're for. But they're just bowls of water. At knee height, you would kneel down and wash your face in them. Anyways, so we're all hypnotized, and everyone kind of goes and does their thing. And I start off doing my thing, but then I'm kind of confused about what I'm supposed to do because I didn't get hypnotized that well. But I know I have to do it, I'm hypnotized to do it. So then I go to ask the other people what to do, but they're kind of doing their own thing. They're not really there even. They're not responsive. And so then I go back to my station to do the thing that I was hypnotized to do. And I pick up like a small knife, and for some reason I really want to bring a knife to my eye. Like, I keep thinking that can't be right. That can't be right. And so then, still in the hypnotic stance, get my eyes itching terribly, and I want to bring my knife to it. I look up in the mirror. I find a mirror and I look up at my face, and there's a small cut, like a pre-cut, not too deep. A mark of where I'm supposed to cut, right? And so then I get back into the hypnotic trance. And it's hypnotic, Just do what I'm aware of what I'm doing, but, I can't control myself. So I bring the small knife to my face and make the small incision, which is right, it's right on the right side of my eye socket. Or not eye socket, but if you go directly right of your eye, where you have skin and the brow, it's right below the end of the brow. and it's only like an inch long. So I make that incision easily, and then I kneel down to like the station with all the equipment, and I kneel in the way like my body just naturally goes this way because of the what? Because the of the hypnotic trance, you know, it knows what it's doing. So, sorry, the truck behind me is a really weird vanity plate. Like backwards, it looks like it says an audio word. Because in the mirror, you only see them backwards, right? I'm not sure if that was intentional or it's just stupid. Yeah, so then I fall down onto this needle that goes into the cut I just made. And here's like the crazy part. I can feel like a needle moving underneath my eyes, like you know where your eyes are, right? I can feel it moving underneath the skin right below the eyes. And it's like an insane feeling. Like I felt it, you know, it was crazy. But it was what was supposed to be done, you know. And so then I'm just kind of not laying there, I'm like kneeling down with my head pressed against the needle. And the needle, you know, it's like a little, it's like feeding like a wire through, you know, the layers underneath, you know, inside my head now. It's feeding this wire through. And, you know, in the corner of my eye, because, like, you know, I'm completely paralyzed at this point. But, you know, out the corner of my eye, I can see, like, a screen that's reading out, like, inserting needle, like, one of, you know, so-and-so, or this stuff. So, it's basically like this little tiny robot arm moving between my different points in my, you know, just below my eyes. Between different points, and I can feel the whole thing. It's not painful, it's just weird feeling. But I can definitely feel it. It's not like a subtle thing. It's not like an itch anymore. And it's inserting needles. And I think it's like I had like a nightmare about getting like a brain-computer interface. Now, I expect when you get brain-computer interface surgery, you would be unconscious for all of it. I don't think people would be hypnotized to do it. Okay, think about how stupid it is to like hypnotize someone to do surgery on themselves. I don't even know if you can do it. But don't knock on hypnotism. Like, you can definitely hypnotize people. It is 100% real. You would be like the crazy thing. Hypnotize the hypnotist. To hypnotize yourself. That'd be for an interesting comedy movie. Two hypnotists abstinently hypnotize each other. I mean, obviously, if you're getting like a BCI, you'd be unconscious. And I don't think we'll be going in through like a cut near your eye. Well, maybe a little bit. And here's my opinion on what like the BCI surgery will look like in the future. Is that you will need to have like multiple surgeries to get different aspects of control. These surgeries will happen in like different parts of your body, and they might take like 12 hours each one. Be entirely robotic. There won't be like a single. I mean, there'll be like a supervising surgeon, but like there's no way a surgeon's gonna connect your neurons to the right wires. But when you're getting like a BCI, I think what a lot of it will look like. I think like the first BCIs will probably be auditory. Mostly, and then vision after that, and they'll be like purely like sensory testing. So they'll start off with something like similar to a cochlear implant, give me the right sounds. I mean, we already know how to do that part. But then after, cochlear implant, next idea is to connect, neurons responsible for vision to something, to the computer. Where's what I should say? Like, the BCI device will just be where all the wires are connected to. And then, data will be transmitted to the BCI through some other means. Because otherwise, you're going to have a computer stuck in your head. There's just not a lot of space in there. So, I think it'll probably start off where you have like small computers or Bluetooth devices or something that will connect to like a phone-sized computer. Small wires, maybe. And it connects to like a phone-sized device. It won't be too useful at first. Not until you start being able to interact with the BCI. So I think like the first BCIs, all they'll do is just give you data that, fill in data. So, this is going to be like a wild. Is that a red light or I can't tell? Is it? It is like so. That was great. It's so hard to see that light with the sun and the angle it was. That was a really dim light. I was stuck behind this giant snowplow truck. I was driving to work, right? And of course, you go 65 on the highway to my work, right? I got stuck behind this giant snowplow truck that was going like 30, and the roads were clear. So why is it driving so slow? I guess I can't drive faster. But like pieces of snow kept falling off of it and getting flung up into like a radius behind it. So you couldn't be within like 50 feet of this thing without your windshield just getting completely covered. And you couldn't see through it. So there's like no way to pass the truck without, losing vision. And of course it's cold, so like, wet slush is thrown into you and it instantly freezes to your windshield. Super annoying. And it was driving down like the middle of the highway too. And like the highway was clear. I could see the lane markings, Made me late. Sucks. Yeah, but so what it will look like is I think they'll drill a hole into your head. And it's not good, it'll be a decently sized hole, you know? Like, you know, it might be like a whole inch diameter. It'll be crazy. You'll be able to feel it easily. They'll drill this into your head, and then the surgical robot will come in. And I think like the first ones will start in the back of your head, near where your vision is processed. So yeah, they'll drill a hole, and the robot will come in. They'll start inserting wires. So we have the already mapped the brain at this point. I know where to put things. So yeah, this robot with the really thin needle comes in and starts. It puts electrodes. That's what they're called. Each electrode is connected to a wire. Yeah, you might have to get pretty fancy with the signals and everything. But the electrode will be able to like send energy out and also, we'll be able to like activate. It'll be able to activate an electron or neuron, and also observe when a neuron has been activated. So it'll do that. Each electrode is going to be connected to a wire, and these wires are probably going to go through, like, you know, and there's a lot of supportive structure in the brain and blood vessels that you can put stuff in. And there's definitely room to put stuff in the brain if it's small enough. I mean, the brain tends to stay together pretty well, so there have actually been observed cases people have like whole things have gone inside people's skulls, moved around the brain, like it wouldn't break the brain tension, right? Or think about it as like not breaking into the brain's tension, you know, or surface tension. It wouldn't be able to break the brain's surface tension, and then it would go like around the brain. Crazy, right? Start off kind of long, but then the cord device, you know, you have a hole in your head, it's been plugged, right? The wires will be connected to the cord device, and they'll be pretty close. Like the cord device will be like, you know, like an inch away from your head when this procedure is happening, probably less than that. You know, they'll connect the wires, trim the wires a little bit, and then coil them up and push the cork into your head, and then seal it. And probably won't be skin there anymore. I mean, you can get like a toupee if you want it or something, but you know, you don't have any bone there. It doesn't really make sense to put skin there if you ever want the thing, you know, because the thing has to be able to do stuff, right? And you can put like some sort of power supply in the cork that all the wires are connected to. You know, whether that's like a generator that uses like the body's blood, or you know, ambient heat to generate energy, or I mean, as long as you have like a temperature gradient, you can generate heat. Or energy. Like, people are often confused. They're like, well, if we can just, you know, use hot air to generate energy, why don't we just put, you know, hot air energy generators everywhere? It's because you need a temperature gradient. actually have a lot of thoughts on that for like a Venus power system. And is that you like a Venus cooling and power system? Is that you put like a robot, a big thick robot, or some sort of generator device. It'd have to be pretty big, honestly. You put it into Venus, like surface, and normally the immense pressure and heat would kill it. Well, it's built strong for the pressure and corrosive rain. But like it would take in hot air and extract the energy from the hot air. And that would cool. It kind of would. So the hot air comes in, and then you cycle it to the air strain. Like this is like a form of like an insulator. So it's basically using like a temperature-based generator in place of like an insulator. Well, it would have to have insulators too, of course. Be vacuum walled. Yeah, I had plans for it. I drew it up one time. I was bored in math class. I drew it on graph paper too, so it's good. Anyways, somehow you connect power. It's just like an electrical device, or computer device. Think of like a Raspberry Pi. You connect power to it, whether it's a battery or generator, and then you also connect data to it. I mean, you could theoretically hook like an iPhone lightning cable up to it. You just need like 8 pins, right? 4 for power, and then 4 for data. Transmit data to like a small computer, and a computer, decides so what data goes where. Be pretty cool. Like I think this will happen next 20 years. You'll see this. Like people will get these surgeries, or at least the tests will be done for it. This will only be like one region of your brain that's been connected. Jesus Christ, potholes here. This will only be like one region of your brain that's connected. So you have to get more surgeries to get more control over your brain. Or to have your brain be able to exert more influence. So like theoretically, you'd be able to use it like if you hooked up to like arms, like a muscle sends out a signal. If you hooked up to like a muscle, like the arm, extend arm signal, hooked up to like control a cursor. You could theoretically just interact with things however you want perfectly, but I think eventually you would need to like hook up like higher thought to a computer, and then you'd have a really smart computer would be able to process the signals that like the higher thought part of the brain is generating, and then the computer would have to then figure out what the person is thinking using that stuff. And so like this goes from getting a signal out of like a muscle moving to actually understanding what a person is thinking, which I think sounds like an incredibly hard thing to do. once we get to that point, it's gonna be like super fun to live. And of course, if you can get enough data from, a brain, you would, in theory, be able to eventually digitally reconstruct it. And emulate it. And so if you're emulating your own brain, immortality achieved, essentially. Or digital immortality, I think is what the phrase is. So true immortality is like, there's literally nothing that could kill you. Biological immortality, your body will not naturally decay. Digital immortality is, there's a digital brain emulation of you, and you can copy and paste it places and put it into different areas, and it'd be really awesome. It's kind of like the end goal for BCIs, in my opinion, is being able to emulate a human brain. I think you're going to need a quantum computer for it to be efficient. Or is it going to need like a supermassive computer? I mean, here's the thing. The human brain, it's like, what, 10 pounds? So, theoretically, there's some computer that weighs 10 pounds that could do what a human brain could do. Theoretically. I don't think we're quite there yet. Yeah, but super interesting to think about. Thanks for listening to my card talk.